Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the City Update. I'm your host Mark Aaron, Multimedia Design Manager for the City of Danville. Today we're out at the Old Dominion Agricultural Complex for the first annual Youth Career Expo. This is being put on by the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, partnership with Danville, Pittsylvania County Chamber of Commerce, many other great entities coming together to showcase what this region has when it comes to employment for our youth. We'll have 7th and 9th graders from across the Southern Virginia footprint making their way through this expo today to learn more about what they can do when they graduate from high school and college, because we want them to come back to our community to start work. We got over 70 exhibitors here today from companies all across Southern Virginia showcasing what they have to offer for individuals here in our community. And as we'll learn from Dr. Julie Brown, who's with the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, who helped set this up, they really start formulating what they want to do, plans for their future in the 7th grade. So it's a great opportunity for the youth in our region. And on today's show, we'll take you inside the expo. We'll talk to a lot of the exhibitors. We've got individuals from our public safety department and within the city of Danville represented today. We've got our IT department showcasing what careers are available in IT, also our Public Works Engineering Department as well. So stay tuned. We're going to talk with Dr. Julie Brown with the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research a little bit more about this first annual Youth Career Expo. Joining me now is Julie Brown, who's the Director of Advanced Learning at the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, and they're really the brains behind this wonderful Career Expo, the first of its kind, a Youth Career Expo here in the Pittsylvania counties where it housed, but God, we've got students from the city of Danville, from Martinsville, all over the region coming here today, over 5,000, Julie. So tell me a little bit about why this event and how it kind of got started.
Sure. About a year ago, we took a group through the Dan River Region Collaborative to see a similar event in Mobile, Alabama. Okay. With the goal of trying to help students connect to the region, to job opportunities that are here, the companies that are here. We know that students as early as 7th grade are making their career plans, and so if they don't know about the opportunities that are here, they can't plan for that when they take their courses in high school.
Great. So obviously we want to keep those students here in Danville. Once they graduate from college and high school, we want them to stay in the region. So tell me an example. I know there's a wide range of individuals and companies that are represented here today, but give me an example of what we have here today on Showcase.
Well, we've got everybody, all the employers broken up into clusters. So we have companies that are here with manufacturing. We have Goodyear is here. We have Drake Extrusion. We have Monogram Snacks. Dominion Power is here. We have healthcare that's represented here through DOAR. Centra is here setting up some activities. Paths is here. We have STEM activities. It's just runs the range really of job opportunities. We probably have over 70 companies that are represented here today, conducting hands-on activities with the students.
Now, as I mentioned, over 5,000 students will be walking through the Ag Center today. 7th graders and 9th graders. Now, they're represented from all across the region, right?
Right. They're from across the Southern Virginia footprint, so starting with Halifax and then the city of Danville, Pittsylvania County, Martinsville City, Henry County, and Patrick County.
Very good. So I see you've got work zones set up. Tell me a little bit about what the students will experience and how they experience this expo today.
Sure. So there are 5 zones that they go through. And in each zone, we're expecting them to participate in about 3 activities. There's probably about 15 choices, so they've got to really pick 3 things that they're interested in. And again, they're hands-on activities. The employers are leading all of the events. And so they spend about 10 minutes in that area, and then they move to the next zone. So again, there's 5 zones for them to get through today. We have a lot. Again, the idea is connecting them to somebody that actually works in that profession. The employers are here representing their profession, not so much their company. I mean, we want to introduce them to the company, but we want them to see the range of job opportunities that are available to them.
And that's amazing, as you mentioned, that they start making those career choices around grade 7. So this will be a great opportunity, maybe expose them to something that they've never really experienced before.
The school systems, we let the school systems choose which grades would attend. Right. And now every 7th grader in Virginia has to file a career plan. 7th grade. Wow. And so we thought that's a perfect time before they're filling out that plan. We need to help them see what opportunities are here. Then they wanted ninth graders to come through because they re-up that plan in ninth grade, so we can see, are they changing their mind? Are they making good decisions? Are they still on that same path? Right. So every 7th grader, every ninth grader will be coming through. 5,000 kids in 2 days. It's going to be phenomenal.
Now, you talked about the Dan River Collaborative. Can you touch on that a little bit, because that's a partner with the Institute and some other great partners that are making this happen?
Right. The Dan River Region Collaborative is a regional workforce partnership. And again, you can see this is a regional event because we understand that our workforce is regional. Just because the company is located in Henry County doesn't mean they're not pulling workers from South Boston. So we know we've got to expose students regionally to the opportunities that are here. And the reason the employers are here today is because they're concerned about their talent pipeline. That's why this was an easy sell, this event, because when we met with employers through the collaborative, that's what they kept saying was, where's my future workforce coming from? Where is that talent pipeline? And so they understand this event is the start. Well, it starts earlier. It starts in kindergarten, pre-K, but really trying to get them on a track for a career plan. And so that's why the employers are here today.
Well, Julie, I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. I know your schedule is busy over the next 2 days, but this is great for the youth in here in our community, and hopefully it's something we can continue doing on an annual basis.
It sure is. This is going to be an annual event, so sometime next October we'll be running this again. So hopefully we'll get more participation from more companies. But like I said, we've got about 70 companies here today. It's tremendous.
Great. Well, thank you, Julie.
Thank you so much.
Well, joining me now, a familiar face to viewers of River City TV, is Corporal Tim Scares, who hosts River City Blue here on River City TV, and they have a presence here at the Expo today. And Tim, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you're sharing with the youth of our region today. I see you got some crime scene analysis going on. Tell me a little bit about what the department has showcased here at the Expo.
Well, obviously, as you see behind me, we've got one of our patrol vehicles. It's set up with the computer and all the different pieces of equipment so the kids can get a look at the things going on with that. We have several forensic displays set up. They can actually dust and lift fingerprints from a variety of sources. We got doors and windows. They can actually do an ink set of fingerprints. They can examine those under magnification. We've even got an alternate light source set up so that they could find blood stains or other fluids with protein in them that would be visible under ultraviolet light. And so we've got a whole lot going on trying to showcase to the kids that there is an exciting future, obviously, in law enforcement. It's not just chasing the bad guys or there's a lot more to law enforcement behind the scenes, and sometimes this is the side that people don't see.
Yeah, and I was going to say, this is something that you can share with the youth, that they see a side of law enforcement on TV, but obviously you can share a little more in detail on what it takes to have a career in law enforcement. And as we heard from Julie Brown, they start formulating that career path in the 7th grade. So it's great to reach out to the kids in the 7th and 9th grade here in our region, kind of showcase what you're doing.
Well, you want to make a positive impact. Yeah. And sometimes that brief one-on-one interaction at some type of event like we have here today is the catalyst that it would take to chart that career path for an individual. And we want to try to be that catalyst. And
I know you're always looking for individuals in the Danville Police Department to come on board and make a difference.
Absolutely. We do a pretty extensive background check, and a lot of things that you can get involved in. A lot of people don't realize it, but even as early as the 7th and 8th and 9th grade, volunteer hours and things that start to pique your interest, a lot of that stuff can be used well into your career.
And I've seen an example of that just walking through City Hall. I see individuals that are in high school that are doing ride-alongs and things like that. So you do have a program through the department to assist those individuals if they want to get a little more hands-on, right?
That's correct. We have an internship program that we've successfully done with Averett and with Danville Community College.
So it's college students.
And with the VOTEC Center and some of the high schools. As long as you're enrolled in one of those type pre-entry programs, you can sign off all the paperwork and get it, and they do a nominal background check, of course, and then you can come in and get some ride-along hours and get some first-hand visuals of what's going on. There are some pretty stringent requirements, but if you're interested and you're involved in one of those programs, we'd definitely like to try to help you out with it.
Well, Corporal Scares, I appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and be sure to tune in to next month River City Blue, because we're going to take a closer look at what Tim and some of the other officers that were here at the Expo did with the youth throughout the 2-day Expo here at the Ag Center in Blair. So Tim, appreciate it.
Glad to be here, Mark.
Well, joining me now is Inez Rodenberg, who is our IT director for the city of Danville. And Inez, I see you've got 3 different stations set up today. Tell me a little bit about what you're sharing with the kids here at the Career Expo.
Well, our focus here is in the IT STEM area. So over here we've got a program activity where the kids are programming what does the fox say? And each activity, there's a different animal that runs through the screen, and the kids are going to be able to interact with the activity. Over here we've got a networking activity where the kids are using an iPad to remote into the network and make some changes. And over here we've got a GIS activity where the kids are looking at the different elevations and specifically looking at the movie theater, which ties into this activity here that Karen Black, city engineer, is working on, and how to build a dam without having the water pass through.
Cool. Well, as we know, these kids are in the 7th and 9th grade, and as I talked to Julie Brown a little earlier, these kids are kind of mapping out their future at that age now. And I know IT is an ever-growing field, and by the time these kids graduate from high school, there'll probably be 3 more divisions in IT because there's so much that goes on. Can you just give our viewers at home a little insight? We talk about GIS, programming. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes in IT that makes our city run smooth.
Well, we've got security. Security is a big issue right now. Yeah. So a lot of networking that blends into security. How do we maintain and secure that? All the networking of how you put ports in and how you connect all the different devices together. Of course, PC support, computer technicians, how to fix the computers. Application support, developing programs and how you support those applications. We do a lot of business analysis as well as working with the customers and trying to understand their needs as it comes with technology. And GIS falls as well with IT, and how do you do the mapping and how do we provide those applications out to the public?
Because we've got about 1,200 employees, and I know every department utilizes IT. Many of our citizens may not realize that, but your staff is working with every department in the city on a daily basis, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Well, Inez, I really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. It's great to see the stations that you have set up. It looks like the kids are really enjoying each one of these. So best of luck for the next 2 days at the Expo.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Well, joining me now is Sonia Wolin, who's with the Danville Science Center. And Sonia, it looks like you have a very interactive exhibit today. Tell me a little bit about what the children are experiencing here at the Science Center booth at the Expo.
At the Science Center booth, the point of the Career Expo is to talk about careers, and our careers are applying our skills in science education in a museum setting as opposed to a classroom. So we think it up, build it, then do it. And so the kids are actually having an opportunity to use something that we've thought up and built, and it's an air cannon. So they're learning about air molecules, moving them quickly through air, and creating vortices. So, yeah, they're trying to aim them. It's the safest cannon on the planet. They're knocking over styrofoam cups and putting out candles.
So tell me, did you construct this backdrop?
Actually, our maintenance person did.
That is great.
It's his creativity. We saw something similar down in Durham in an outdoor installation, and he made it our own with the butterfly.
Right. And it's always, hold on one second, I'm going to get you to come up here. And I was kidding you earlier. I said if your cannon survives 2 days, you'll be lucky because the kids love it so much. But it is so important to give that hands-on experience when it comes to science. And that's something you all do year-round at the Danville Science Center.
That's right, we do, and we want kids to feel empowered to do science on their own.
Yeah.
So something like this air cannon, they can go home, they can make it out of a cardboard box, they can make it out of a trash can. We hope to inspire them to do exploration on their own. So that's what it's all about.
Well, Sonia, I really appreciate you taking the time to join us this week, and best of luck the next 2 days at the Expo, and hopefully you'll inspire quite a few children as 5,000 come through the door.
We hope so. 7th and 9th graders, perfect age.
Well, joining me now is Nathan Henley, who is a 7th grader here in the region. And Nathan, tell me, have you had fun here at the Youth Career Expo today?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
So what did you have the most fun doing here at the Expo?
Probably the tractors, and over there with the police and the air cannon.
The air cannon at the Danville Science Center. So have you ever been to the Science Center in the city of Danville before?
No.
So now that you've done the air cannon and seen their booth, you think that's somewhere you might go in the city since you've already experienced that here at the Expo?
Yeah.
So now, I know you're in the 7th grade, right? So what do you want to be when you grow up?
A doctor.
A doctor, all right. So did you get to experience any of the CPR or any of those medical field booths that were on display here at the Expo?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was pretty cool.
Love it?
Yeah.
So what do you think about having something like this? 70 different organizations here represented. Is that pretty cool for our region? Because did you know about every one of these before you came today?
No, I do think it's pretty cool and pretty nice to have it out here so you know what's in the region.
Yeah, so was there any one thing that kind of stuck out in your mind that you didn't know about in the region, but after you come here today and experienced it, you'll take home something new?
Not really, but I mean, I learned a lot of new things.
Yeah, very good. Well, Nathan, I appreciate you joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I'm now joined with Michaela Irby, who is in the 7th grade here in the region. And Michaela, tell me, have you enjoyed the expo today?
Yes, sir.
What did you enjoy most about it?
Well, what I enjoyed most about it was that all these activities that we never experienced to do is that we get to do them now.
Right. Can you tell me about some of those activities that you did today?
Well, on one of those activities that I did, we went to go see how our lungs worked, and then this tube, she made us blow in really hard as we could, and that's how much our lungs create air.
Wow, great. So is the medical field something that you're looking forward to do as you get older?
Not so much. What I was looking forward to do when I grow up was to be a vet, because I love animals so much.
And I know there was a veterinarian that had a display here today, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you get to go through that exhibit?
Yes, sir.
So what all did you do over there?
Well, what all we did over there was that we got to learn how animals process like their medication and all that.
So did you get to use a stethoscope and hear the heartbeat of they had an actual dog over there, right?
Yes, sir.
Was that kind of cool?
Yes.
Well, Michaela, I really appreciate you joining us today, and I'm glad you've had so much fun here and experiencing a lot of new things at the Expo.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Well, let's get you started on this mixture for concrete. We're going to start off with 2 parts of this sand. You want 2 level scoops. Take your finger and cut it off. There you go. Good job. Nice. Because we definitely want to make sure we have the right proportion of components. Make you a nice coaster. Great. Then we're going to move to the cement mix. Same thing. 2 level scoops. Very nice. And then 1 scoop of water, make sure it's completely full. Because you definitely want to make sure we have enough water, because you'll notice we're doing, yes, we're doing a 2-1, that's all you need. That's, take your stick, stir, make sure everything is wet. Make a good mixture. You're going to have to dig deep into the corners of that cup, into the bottom ridge. Get your sand back up into that. Very nice.
Okay, so there's the motor that you're seeing, and this is something that my students drew, and then we built all these parts on a rapid prototyper and then assembled them. This is a compressed air motor, so if we put an air hose right there and turn it on, this will run. But before we did it, we built it in SolidWorks. We can test it to see if it's going to work or not, and now that we know it's going to work, we send these parts to a thing called a rapid prototyper or a 3D printer. It made all these parts individually, and then we assembled them. But we have 5 different prototypers at DCC. Some of those, what they do is they put material down a paper thickness at a time and somehow harden it. This is just putting down a layer and the air hardens it. The machine that made this one puts down a layer of powder and then melts that layer with a laser. And then another layer on top of that melts that one. So this was built a paper thickness at a time.
This is your daily use, like how much you use to take a shower, a little bit to drink, wash clothes and things. How many gallons do you think you use?
1,080.
You want to guess?
90.
You? Y'all are very close, and it could be as much as 80, but 70 is sort of the average.
Over this way. Now, hard and fast. You got to push deep. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the City Update. It's great to see over 5,000 youth, 7th and 9th graders here in the Southern Virginia footprint come out to this first annual Youth Career Expo. they got to see over 70 different career opportunities that are available for them in our region once they graduate high school or college. We want to see them come back to this community, start a family, get a quality job here in our region, and the opportunities are here. As you saw today, there are plenty of opportunities for our youth in our region. So hats off to the Institute for Advanced Learning and Research, the Danville, Pennsylvania County Chamber of Commerce, and all the great sponsors that make this event happen. And we look forward to coming out again next year for the second annual event. So until next week, have a great day.